Sa Leyte, may isa umanong kaso ng rape. Inireklamo ng panggagahasa sa isang dalagita ang isang pari doon.
Pagpiyansa na ang pari na nahuli sa Marikina City na umano ay nagtangkang ipasok sa isang motelang minor de edad.
You had been molested by a priest when you were 14 or 15 years old, and then later you even identified that priest.
Led me from that mission was in fact the realization that fellow priests and brothers and seminarians didn't have that ambition. Perhaps some of them did, but they wandered from the path. They were drawn to exercise their sexuality.
Not only I, the whole class. 2 generations up and 2 generations down. All of us. There was an Italian underground film, and I am so used for that. A priest running naked over there.
A Catholic bishop who was forced by the Vatican to leave Belgium after admitting sexually abusing his 5-year-old nephew has sparked outrage by going on live television and saying it was nothing serious, just a game. He also admitted abusing another young nephew.
And they don't really bother to investigate.
Alleges the Catholic Church covers up crimes of pedophile priests, silences investigations and destroys crucial evidence to avoid prosecutions.
There is no condemnation, nothing. All the bishops stupid. And they are really stupid, you know that.
Pope Francis has asked for forgiveness for the evil damage to children caused by sexual abusers in the clergy.
Many of them practiced what I consider strange sexual practices, and among them, as I said, was the pedophilia.
I really believe in God. I put my destiny in the hands of God. But priests,
pedophiles be extended some measure of sympathy? Are we doing enough to identify and help pedophiles before they victimize our children?
They need to change. They have to change.
But do you think they can change?
No, I don't think they can.
All of these link to pedophilia. Pedophilia, as defined by Merriam-Webster, are sexual feelings directed towards children. But why does this happen? Is it because pedophiles are born vile or sick?
Well, the truth is, those who suffer from pedophilia have a compulsion to abuse young children. Pedophilia can be attributed to both biological and environmental factors. Case studies indicate that cerebral dysfunction may be a dominant factor of pedophilia, including problems with self-control, extreme urges, and cognitive distortions. There is significant evidence that indicates structural abnormalities in the brains of pedophiles. Abnormalities occur when the brain is developing and can be onset through certain experiences, such as sexual abuse as a child. Abnormalities in the brains of pedophiles may result in compulsion, poor judgment, and repetitive thoughts.
More specifically, pedophiles tend to also have been molested as children. As children, they lack the ability to control the situation. By sexually assaulting children, pedophiles attempt to relieve the trauma they experience and they learn how to master it. Many people assume that only males are pedophiles. Females who exhibit pedophilia tend to suffer from psychiatric disorders or substance abuse problems. Also, there is a higher correlation between sexual abuses as a child with females compared to males.
Pedophilia, like many types of disturbances or diseases, does not have a complete cure. The sexual urges associated with pedophilia may never permanently disappear, and the person's sexual preference and orientation can be difficult to reorient. At present, treatment primarily focuses on preventing further offenses rather than changing sexual orientation.
So where does faith come into all of this? Well, Pope Francis has revealed that around 1 in every 50 Catholic priests is a pedophile, condemning the issue as a leprosy which infects the church.
He also said that many more in the church are guilty of covering it up, adding, "This state of affairs is intolerable. It is becoming clearer and clearer that for many years, things were not dealt with as they should have been dealt with. We must show justice to survivors of abuse." So how do we react to this?
No one is free from sin. The church is both human and divine because Christ was both human and divine. We cannot escape our humanity. Therefore, committing sin is inevitable. Humans can't escape it, even those we look up to as leaders of the church. In its history, the Church has dealt with many clergy leaders. Even they commit sins, including pedophilia. The past who committed this include Pope Benedict IX, Pope Alexander VI. This issue has shown how even the supposed role models of the Church make the gravest mistakes despite their high position in the Church.
Pedophilia in the Catholic Church or in society is the big elephant in the room. People don't want to talk about it, and people seem to forget that pedophiles are people too, and people make mistakes. However, if there's no shift in attitude that we must not molest kids, then we will be stuck in the same cycle and committing the same mistakes. Pedophilia is brought about by people, not by God. I cannot tell why God lets it happen, but does God have to do everything for us humans?
Moving on isn't always as easy as people make it seem. It is a long and meticulous process that takes a lot of time and effort. As humans, it is in our nature to find it hard to walk away from the atrocities we have committed. This is the same situation as a church. As a community, we find it hard to forgive pedophiles, but they are human just like us. Let the one among you without sin be the first to throw a stone at her.
It is not the mistake that matters. It's what happened after that matters. If we don't move forward, we'll be stuck in the same cycle. We have to learn to move on. Of course, it would be hard at first, because it's never easy to accept the truth that not all of the priests can stay true to their promise of absolute chastity. Instead of dwelling on what they do, we should rather focus on the aftermath and what we can do as stewards of His creation. Don't focus on the past, just carry on.
There is always light at the end of the tunnel. After the Dark Ages, the Renaissance came. Now we are living the modern Dark Ages, and we are journeying towards the light at the end of this new tunnel. God didn't make pedophiles. It is man's actions that caused this. Throughout history, God has always offered salvation to those who have done even graver acts. You just need to trust in God's plan, that He is doing all of this for a greater reason. God will not give up on us now. God will not give up on us now.
Priests is a pedophile. Every kid who experiences pedophilia is in great danger of trauma and dysfunctional thinking. The future of our world is in the hands of our youth. We must look into the past and review our mistakes as a community in order to thrust ourselves forward and become closer as one. Through God and His grace, our community will be better, and through our mistakes, we will become closer to God. Being open to our mistakes and understanding is the key to deepening our faith with God. And this is the direction that we must have as a community.